I think we may have discovered a reverse choosing beggar. Hey everybody, it's me, Asinyalos, and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Reddit. Welcome to r/ChoosingBeggars. We're entitled jerks. Don't only beg for 3 things, but then they have the audacity to be picky about it. Today we've got a great lineup with picky co-workers, plagiarizing high school kids, and entitled family members. So if you think you'll enjoy this, which I'm sure you will, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around for the rest of the video. Choosing Beggar's sister wants to have her cake and eat it too. A little backstory. My cousin is a fatally nice person. She has kids and hers is the only income in the family, but she never fails in helping out others. My sister is a toxic user. She doesn't work, lives off my parents, and her ex and current boyfriend, and is a pill addict. My sister, or rather my parents, who she still lives with, lives about 15 minutes away from my cousin, whereas I'm an hour away. My cousin likes having her kids play with their cousins, and as my sisters are the closest, they usually get together. My cousin understands that beggars shouldn't be choosers. If only my sister was like my cousin. So on to the story. This happened about a month ago. It was just before my niece's birthday, and my sister had mentioned it to my cousin, that they weren't going to do anything because she didn't have any money. Now my cousin, being the kind soul she was, couldn't stand the thought of a little girl not having at least something for her 12th birthday. She told my sister to bring her over on her birthday and that they'd have dinner, and if my sister called the grocery store and ordered a cake, my cousin would pay for it. My sister said she would. So for the next week, my cousin texted my sister every day and asked if she had ordered the cake yet, and every day my sister said she'd get to it. Finally, after about a week and a half, my cousin goes into the grocery store and just fills out the cake form, knowing it'll take a few days to complete, and my niece's birthday is fast approaching. What follows is the phone conversation my cousin had with my sister after she filled out the form. She called me right after and told me all about it. Hello sister, I was at the grocery store picking up some things, so I figured I would order the cake since it'll take a few days to finish. Oh, I was gonna do that today. You told me I could pick it out. Yes, but you've had a week and a half, and if we didn't get the order in today, the cake wouldn't be ready in time. Well, I wish you'd have let me pick out my own daughter's birthday cake. Did you at least make sure it was a princess cake? My niece is going to be 12 and has never been into princesses. But my sister has this I'm a princess type personality and thinks because my niece is a girl, she's the same way. No, I did horses because niece really likes them. Horses? But she's had a princess cake every year. Thanks for ruining my daughter's birthday, cousin. Sister hangs up. You'd think that'd be the end of it, but you obviously don't know my sister. Literally the day before they're supposed to celebrate my niece's birthday, she texts my cousin asking her if she could have the store put my nephew's name on the cake because his birthday was the month before and they didn't do anything for him. The day of the party, my sister shows up at my cousin's house as she's trying to set up and expects her to drive her an hour and a half one way to go meet her daughter's father to pick her daughter up. My sister gets my niece every other weekend and has no driver's license, and my niece's father won't release my niece to her unless someone with a license is driving. So after my cousin goes on this 3-hour trek, they go back to her house, have the party, and my sister gets my niece to ask my cousin if she and her brother could stay the night. And my cousin, of course, says yes. My sister immediately leaves and doesn't show back up until Sunday, when it's time to take my niece back. And of course, my cousin agrees to take her. Well, there are just so many things fundamentally wrong with this story, and I hate that this cousin is just picking up the pieces of the mess left behind by the sister. But the fact that the sister only gets to see her kids 2 days in a fortnight kind of reassures me that the dad is a decent person who can support the kids and make sure they grow up to be good people. Coworker complains about 3 food provided by employer. I work in an office building full of choosing beggars. Not going to say the name of the company I work for, but I will say that they are very generous to their employees. We have 3 soda on hand at all times, and they're constantly providing us with snacks. There's our regular once-a-week snack options that they rotate, and then they'll frequently provide us with random stuff, just because. I love working for this company. It seems every week someone has some reason to complain about the snack options. I get that donuts aren't healthy food, but one isn't going to hurt you, and nobody is making you eat them. Plus, they try rotating healthy items into the mix. It just isn't every week. I get that bagels aren't gluten-free, but I'm going to shake my head in exasperation when the people who complain about no gluten-free options that week ask, "What the heck is celiac disease?" The worst is when they bring in pizza. I see every time, "Papa John's? Why can't they get us Pier 49 pizza? It's so much better." Yes, they actually complain about which restaurant their 3 pizza is coming from. Some people just drive me nuts. Wow, giving your workers 3 stuff is pretty generous. I mean, a happy worker will be a good worker. But people complaining about this, they must just be forgetting how good it is for them. And when they get a new job, they might just have to face the harsh reality of buying your own snacks. CB erases the signature off my drawing in front of me to take it and show it to the teacher and say it's theirs. Okay, so this story happened a few years back in high school. I was always kind of the artsy kid, but I never really showed off my art too much, only to my close friends. One day, this choosing beggar girl, who was a classmate of mine, who barely spoke to me, she was kind of a rich, spoiled, upper middle class type, saw me sketching something and was like, "Oh my god, I had no idea you could draw like that. That's so cool." At first, I was really flattered, obviously, and I thought it was really nice of her to stop by just to compliment me. I thanked her and expected her to move on with her day. But no. "Do you have any more drawings I could see? I really like them and would love to see more." I happened to have one of my sketchbooks on me, so I was like, "Sure, I can show you," so I pulled it out. My sketchbook has mainly pencil. Some pages were filled with more scribbles and actual sketches. Others had more detailed drawings on them. On the pages with more detailed drawings, I used to also sign myself. "Would you mind if I took some pictures of this? I'd like to show it to my friends too." I was kinda surprised by this request, but didn't think much of it. Again, I felt flattered that she liked it so much that she wanted to show other people. CB takes her picture and then looks at her phone for a second. Her face scrunches a bit and goes like, wait a second." I kid you not. This girl picks up an eraser in front of me and proceeds to erase my signature and take another picture. I was so taken aback by her doing it so nonchalantly that I froze for a second, not knowing what to do. Sorry, why did you erase my signature?" Well, I thought I'd show it to the art teacher to get a better grade." "But you didn't do it." "Yeah, you have so many drawings. I thought I could just show her one for a better grade too. It's not even the drawing. I'll just show her the picture and say I made it." "But you didn't do it." She was so surprised by me not wanting her to show off my work as hers. She literally couldn't wrap her head around why I wasn't allowing her to do it. It was honestly funny at this point. To wrap things up in a kind of unsatisfying conclusion, she said she wouldn't, but she did it anyway, and I wasn't the type to call wolf in front of the whole class, so I just let it slide. But it bugs me to this day. I should have asked her to delete those pictures then and there. What surprises me most is that this starts off by saying they were in high school. That means they were in their sort of mid to late teens. And that someone would be so oblivious to plagiarism, especially when it's an issue that's been cracked down on in schools and universities and any sort of educational places. There are literally programs now that can scan your work and say if you've copied and pasted from any sort of website. Like, how crazy is that? Student complains about 3 student housing. So, during our 4th and final year of pharmacy school, students go out and gain clinical experience by working at different hospitals and pharmacies. My particular school divides our clinical rotations into 5-week blocks. Many people choose to do all of their clinical rotations in one location to avoid having to travel, but other students will practice in several different locations to get a feel for different hospitals. This can be tricky though, because it's different to find housing for just 5 weeks at a time. One hospital, in an effort to ease the burden of finding housing, offered free housing for students completing rotations at that site. Now, this housing was not necessarily the nicest place to live, but it was free, utilities were completely covered, and it gave students an opportunity to explore this hospital system who may not have been able to afford it otherwise. One woman in my class stayed in this housing for one of her rotations. Apparently, it was not up to her standards because she whined about the conditions of the free housing to other students, sent a formal complaint to our school administration, and slammed the practice site in her evaluations. I just found out that the hospital is no longer offering free housing for students as a result of her complaints. I wish I had a more satisfying conclusion, but this classmate ended up getting a good job at a prestigious hospital, along with several awards from our school at graduation. It makes me sad that she used the free student housing to help her succeed in her studies and took that option away from everyone else. I mean, it really sucks when one entitled person's actions affect possibly hundreds of other people being able to, in this case, receive a good education. Alright guys, that's it from me for today. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. And if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me if there's anything you liked in particular down below. So my last video, I put some music in the background and those people who replied all seem to like it. So there is music playing again today and I think I'll make that stay. And just before I leave, I've started an Instagram, so feel free to follow me there. I'm not 100% sure what I'll be posting there. Possibly some Reddit content, possibly just some random updates about the channel, but if you're interested, go there, follow me, and we'll see what happens. But for now guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all I've got time for, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later guys.